Hello, everyone, and welcome again to Cop Fusion. We are here today to discuss Liverpool transfers. The transfer window is open. The preseason is almost starting, and I have with me Ishan. Is he's back again, and we are here. We're just gonna. We're so so happy that we are still again talking about transfers. Hopefully, incomings, right, Ishan?
Yes, definitely. Hoping like we get few incomings as soon as possible.
All right. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay, perfect. All right, man. So we have been, as usual, as every other season, we have been linked with a lot of players. Again, we have been also linked with some familiar faces like Ismail Yassar. We already have a centre back signing, and a lot of people are talking about him already replacing Gomez and Mati at the back. So let's start with what we have in our hands right now. Let's talk about the new signing.
Yeah. Absolute tank, man. Absolute behemoth he is. I mean, I feel. I think I overall, if you see as a defender, I rate him over Upamecano, who was his compatriot at Leipzig, and I feel he's very good for his age. If you have seen the training pictures, you can see that the kind of physicality he has. It's it's like a perfect Klopp centre back. Good in the air, can play with the ball on his feet, physically really strong. So uh, I feel like once Klopp eases him into the team with the cup games and probably a few fixtures in the Premier League, and I think we'll probably see a lot more of him in the second half of the season.
All right, for everyone who's just tuned in right now, guys, we are live on YouTube and also live on our Facebook page and our Facebook profile at the same time. So if you are not on YouTube, you can definitely follow us there. And Ishan, so we have got we already have like around five center backs now, almost, right? So like we little can have a really good team for the Carabao Cup as well. Hopefully, if we take it
Yeah,
seriously this time around, maybe the FA Cup, if not Carabao.
yeah.
And but we still lack that right back at the moment, don't you think so?
Yeah, absolutely. I think from what we have heard, Nico Williams is gonna be sold, and I mean, I'm kind of indifferent to it because Williams was not as good as we expected him to be last season, and I mean I don't blame him either because there was no game time for him. I mean, as a player, you always need few run of games to play and get your groove together. And the best player with respect to that, which we have seen in the recent history, is Robertson. I mean, Moreno got injured, and that's the time we got, and he just made that place his own. So yeah, I mean, Williams didn't get anything, because Trent was rock solid, and yeah, I think it's time for him to get more game time, develop his game further. But again, I mean, if I'm Edwards, I would definitely keep like a if not a buyback, then at least the first right of refusal in the contract to whomsoever Liverpool will be selling him to.
Or do you think he'll do it, because Nico Williams hasn't started that many games for us? Also, we do not have any other right back. I think Klopp may even end up playing Joe Gomez. He may see Joe Gomez as his future position as a right back, given the number of centre backs we
Uh,
have now.
to be really honest, I don't think Gomez ever had can play right back. I mean, he should not be
No.
ever put there
Yeah.
because I mean he has the speed, but he looks positionally so out over there. It's like trying to fit a square peg in a round hole. And I mean, I would rather prefer like as much as it hurts for me to say, I rather put like Milner over there rather than put Gomez because Gomez does not do what no one we are in that. It's not his fault, but he has done the job for us many times. But again, I would just keep Joe Gomez at centre back and not just fiddle around with that.
Yeah, fair call and sensible call as well. Ishan, you seem to have some kind of issue with the network. It's kind of keeps on hanging. There's a lot of lag coming in. So, are you on your Wi-Fi or are you on your?
I am on the
Okay, okay,
Wi-Fi,
all right. Maybe it's just the network. All right.
probably.
Um. Okay. So Kamlesh, Bhai has one opinion here, like Mark Noble as a midfield option. Bro, I don't think he's gonna leave at this point. But why do we need so many midfielders? I just don't get that. I mean, I'm assuming you're just joking about Mark Noble there. To be very honest, there's no point he's coming from there to here, and there's no point. There's no way we are also taking him until Lishan is freezed. Let me just talk. I have got the freedom now. So Mitrovic is a forward option. Yeah, sure, but I mean, you need a forward option by which who can replace Bobby Firmino. Do you really feel that Mitrovic is a guy who can replace Bobby Firmino? Because I don't think Mitrovic is surely not that guy. I mean, like instead of discussing which midfielder we need anymore, I think we should really be focusing on a center forward. We need an out and out center forward. We need a 15 plus
Okay,
goal scorer
so
every season.
I feel that with respect to first and foremost, I think Vishal Bhai said that Koulibaly was also linked,
Yeah.
and I mean that's just paper trash from Echo. Like that's like rinse repeat every
Yeah,
window from
they're just like
Echo.
trying to calm down the fans, just with the
Yeah,
rumors. Yeah, that's it.
yeah. So yeah, I mean, Koulibaly definitely not happening. Like way over the age mark in which FSG buys, and the price tag is way too much. If he would have been a free transfer, it would have still kind of made sense. But with that wage, fee, and age, all three together, Koulibaly is never gonna happen. And coming to the midfielders like Mark Noble, I think again the same thing. He's too old and too slow for our game. Like West Ham don't play that expansive, but even in their system, like he has been, caught out a lot of times. So I don't think Noble would be a good fit for Liverpool.
I'm sure he was joking, and rightly so. He just admitted that he was just kidding because he was just trying to tease up
Oh,
FSG.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I mean, that's how low the bar is, isn't it? I
yeah,
mean, being
absolutely,
very real as a
absolutely.
Liverpool fan.
I think it's also because that how Edwards and everybody likes to play the whole game is that keep so many options out there in the media that whomsoever they're really buying the player which they're interested in, uh, they know that they have an option, so they can't like have put a figure out which is too high for the evaluation of the player. So it's same like what we did with Jamal Lewis and Simikas. So everybody knew we were with Lewis, and then all of a sudden Simikas came into the picture, and we tried to get the Lewis thing going, but they were not budging. Norwich wasn't budging, so right away we went to Simikas. So it's pretty much like that. Like it gives us options as well, and also the fact that the club from whom we are buying the player uh, cannot like just take us for a ransom essentially.
That's true, but then again, it has hit back in the past couple of windows. So it has worked with say Fabinho, Virgil, not Virgil van Dijk's transfer as of now. I mean, it did work with Simicas. I think we
Yeah,
were hugely linked with Jamal Lewis, and it just didn't work out. I think for 1 or 2 million, I guess, and then
yeah,
we went for Simicas, who hasn't even played a dozen game for us, who has
yes,
not started a dozen game for us, not even
yeah,
as a sub, to be honest. So that's how it is. But yeah, definitely, a center forward is a no-brainer. I think that's something that we need. We have been complaining as fans for the past couple of seasons now that there's a lot of pressure on our wingers. You
yeah,
know, the wingers. these guys, you cannot rely on them each season. It's what I think the fourth season now for
Yeah,
Salah and Mane together, and they are, the front three is the same as it is. You
yeah,
cannot just keep on, just burning them out every season,
yeah,
and God
yeah.
forbid, anything like Virgil van Dijk happens to either one of them. We are screwed for
Yeah,
another season then,
yeah.
and they're not getting any younger.
Especially if touch wood, if anything happens to Salah, like I am, he's our converter. He
Yeah,
finishes
that's,
everything.
yeah,
So I mean, if like last season we were like one, even like a like a hamstring pull of his, if which would have led him out for like 2 to 3 weeks. We were if even that kind of injury would have happened to Salah, we would have been out of the top four race automatically. Automatically, I mean, it would have been like 10 times more tougher to put somebody like probably like a Shaqiri or like a makeshift what do you call Oxlade Chamberlain over there. So it's really really important that we keep Salah fit more than anyone else.
yeah. And we don't even have the same medical team now, do we?
Thank God for that. Thank God for that. Last season was a travesty with respect to that.
Yeah, it's. I mean, okay. We need to forget what happened last season. To be very honest, we need to focus
Yeah,
on what's going to happen now, because we just can't discuss last season anymore, man. I'm so tired of it now. So Kamlesh has a question for you, Ishan.
yeah. Uh, what do you think of Matthias Pereira from West Brom? He's good option and also will be cheaper from relegated side or Sabitzer from Leipzig. Oh yeah, so yeah, Sabitzer is a bloody brilliant player. I mean, no doubts about it. Like he's really really good. But again, like the fee is the biggest thing which we have to take into consideration, and I think that is. I mean, if you ask me, Sabitzer would go for like 40, 50 easy. Like that'll be like the base price of his. And I don't think Liverpool is looking to spend that much. Also, another small thing which I mean, if I'm like Leipzig and I have sold two of my centre backs right now, I wouldn't want my captain to be sold also. So I mean, those are some of the dynamics which are involved in it. With respect to Matthias Pereira, I have not seen much of West Brom last season. I'll be really honest, but from whatever I have seen, he's good. He's good. But again, like I have like just based on the eye test, just might be good at Liverpool, but not great. Like he won't be like my first or second choice because the kind of finishing which we require, like the kind of conversion rate which we require, he's not at that level, nor is his movement, to be honest. But yeah, defensive work and just the kind of athleticism he has, for sure. I mean, that is something which is a check with respect to Liverpool system.
Oh, sorry. Yes, fair
Yeah,
enough.
I
I
was
think
about
that's
to say.
just put myself on mute. I didn't even
Yeah.
know. Right. So, all right. So Salil has joined us, and a couple of more friends. So
Hello,
Kamlesh and
hello.
Vishal are already there. So really happy
Uh,
that there are more and more people coming in. Vishal is also here now.
yeah.
So Salil has a question. What's your take on the FSG outers? Apparently, they claim they're the reason we are declining. So Salil, guys, I think we like he was the first one who was there as a guest on this channel, and the guy has been so busy that he's now only found in the comment section and no longer in our live videos. Hopefully, that's gonna change, Salil. So Ishan, your take on this,
Yeah.
man?
Uh, well, to be really, really honest, FSG has their pros and cons. Okay, and if I'm FSG and like even I run my own business, and whenever I have to spend something as an investment, I think 10 times, and I have to be really, really sure that okay, fine, if this is a product which I'm like kind of investing in, I need to be so much sure that I would get returns on it. So keeping that in mind, I mean, the players are same. Like FSG has a similar policy, and they don't want to invest just because you know it's like the same thing. Like if say my next door neighbor has got a Bentley, I would also go and get a Mercedes or a Audi or something. But I also hear like a lot of FSG outers saying that they don't want the spending to be at the level of City or Chelsea, but like there has to be some spending. But with respect to this season only, which will just start this window, we've already got Konate, and it was confirmed way back, and it's not a cheap signing. It's not a cheap signing. It's a pretty decent amount. So I feel it's important that all the FSG outers also understand that how important the Konate signing was, also because how big a talent he is. It's like how we wrapped up Fabinho, nobody knew. And I mean, we knew Konate was happening. A lot of people were saying that how Konate might come. But you know the kind of we made sure with Leipzig that nobody else was in the picture with respect to
Yeah.
Konate, and we just got him. We went and we got him, and that's it.
Yeah.
So I think with respect to FSG, we know they just want to balance the book. And if you look at it from a very business point of view, it's not wrong. Like, why would you want to be in a loss as a business?
Yeah.
You're doing it in order to make money, of course. They've had their they've done a lot of wrong as well, but again, like they're trying, they're understanding the fans, the culture, which is very, very, very different to the American sports culture. I mean, in America everything is a franchise based stuff, so it's
Exactly.
very tough for them to, like, people say now they're like 10 years old, 11 years old. Yeah, it's not that easy for people and businesses and their ethics to change overnight.
Hmm.
Like, do you think, say for example, that when Tata was, making their stuff and they were doing the steel thing, would they have thought that they would have gone and opened a TCS, which is like a totally different thing? No, they wouldn't have.
Right.
It takes time for people to, diversify and understand and then gauge, what could be right for them business wise and ethically as well. So it's just that, I mean, I feel FSG is way better than a lot of owners. But again, even the best owners also have their problems, and so do FSG. And I mean, not buying players, not buying depth last season has showed us and FSG both that they have to be more proactive, and they have shown that with respect to our centre backs, and they've gone and got Konate even before the
Hmm.
window was open, and it got confirmed as soon as the window is open.
Okay.
So I mean, kudos to them. They saw the leak in the team, and they just fixed it up.
Right. So Ishan, you know that I've also backed up FSG for like long time now, right?
Yeah,
But I'd like to give this conversation another perspective, not because I'm an FSG outer, I'm not being very honest. But
yeah,
let's, just for the conversation, just for the debate, let's not have just one side of the story. Let's talk
yeah,
as well,
yeah,
because I'm sure a lot of people in the comment section, a lot of our friends are, you know how they are,
yeah,
like a lot of them are
yeah.
frustrated as well, right? So
Of course,
okay,
of
so
course.
be nice and humble, dude. You could have just used your name. They have got a return of 10x more than 11 years period. Definitely they have. And yes, I completely agree with you that FSG are reactive and not proactive. And this was
Of course,
the
of
example
course.
was right there in January this year. I've
Yeah,
been I've been repeating that
yeah,
again and again in a podcast that
yeah,
we were screwed by FSG for not taking that
yeah,
decision earlier in January window
yeah,
when we were on top of the table. We lost
yeah,
Southampton, then it was just downfall for us, right? So
yeah,
we have
yeah,
discussed that in our previous videos. If you're
yeah,
following us, you know what we discussed. So
yeah,
please do, right? But now the problem was, and the problem is, now you have competition like with likes of Chelsea and Manchester City and even Manchester United.
yeah.
Manchester United fans hate the Glazers, and yet they pump up money. They're doing 100 million signing every goddamn season for them, and then they hate their
I mean,
owners.
I don't get United fans nowadays, because I mean, they have had the most expensive midfielder in Pogba. They have had the most expensive defender in Maguire. Now they are one of the most expensive forward players in Sancho. What else do you need? In a space of like I'll say what 4 years, they have got all these three.
Yeah,
And I mean, either ways you make your these players work together, which Mourinho kind of did, and Ole is trying to find that balance again. So I mean, what more can you ask from your board? I mean, of course they've
God
had
knows.
some bad signings as well, but look at some of the other signings. Look at the Ibrahimovic signing. Okay,
Yeah,
nobody wanted to pay him that much amount of wages, but United said, okay, fine, we'll take a punt on it.
yeah. Alexis Sanchez. Sanchez was
It-
paid 400,000 a week,
that was
highest.
insane. Yeah, of course,
KDB
that
doesn't
was
earn that much.
yeah, that was crazy. That was crazy. And I mean, we were not even talking about the signing bonus and all the other crazy stuff
Yeah,
which is involved in a
yeah,
contract. And
yeah.
then you see like they got Cavani, and Cavani again is a brilliant signing. Even if you look at the loan signing of Ighalo, it was, I mean, he scored some important goals, even if they were in the cups. But I think even that kind of gave time for Greenwood to kind of not be so dependent on Greenwood, the United team, so that he does not have that much limelight. And as a young player, you don't want extra limelight on the youngsters, which I think kind of Klopp has managed really well with Trent and Curtis.
Right. So, see, again, like, coming to your point of Ole and the Glazers, I think till the time
Yeah,
we have Ole at Manchester United, I'm very happy with them. They can sign
yeah.
as many players as they want. Till they have
Mhm.
a clueless manager, I'm perfectly fine. Yes, they somehow managed to run in top four. Whatever, let's not
Yeah.
talk about United anymore. I don't want to talk about them. But yeah, see, the thing is, now you have, again, we were just discussing before the live session that how Chelsea had, not so long ago, just 4 5 years back, they had around 33 players out on loan, including
Yeah,
Courtois and the likes
yeah,
of Cuadrado. See, now
yeah,
that's the vision that a guy like Abramovich has, right? He
yeah,
would spend money. He loves the club. He dives into the philosophy. He wants to do it for the club, for the people there, and that's how
yeah,
it is, right? So you do not find that those kind of passionate owners, like you have Abramovich, you have the Leicester City owners. You know,
yeah,
it's not like, not all the clubs are lucky, to be very honest, like, to
yeah,
have these kind of owners. So
yeah,
FSG have their own way of doing it. The only thing I want I just want the right players. I just want a good squad. I want a good backup squad as well, and I'm not
yeah,
asking for like 100 million signings as a fan. All I'm asking is, "Ki, boss, if we have a couple of center backs injured, sign a goddamn center back. If we do not have a center
absolutely,
forward firing,
absolutely.
and if he is low in confidence, just sign another center forward. If not
Yeah,
Harry Kane, then you can obviously go for someone else in the market there.
yeah,
You don't have the lack of any kind of player. If you want to sign Ismailia Sarr from Watford, you sign him from there.
yeah.
If they're in the relegation zone, you'll get them for cheap.
I,
You have your own
I,
philosophy, you do it, but you sign the right place at the right time. That's it.
yeah,
That's what
yeah.
we're asking.
That's true. But how if you see how FSG as a whole, like with respect to transfers, moves, is that they'll try to squeeze out the best deal. Okay, and or look for bargains all the time. Like you can see the Shaqiri bargain, you can see the Wijnaldum bargain, you can see the Robertson bargain, or we can see even the Minamino bargain. So it's just that we want the best deal financially available. So that being said, sometimes when the club from whom we are buying knows that we are going to squeeze out the best deal possible, they play hardball with us, and that is why it takes a lot of time. Then add on to that the way which we conduct our transfer. We have multiple options. We put it out in the media. We put smoke screens here and there, and then all of a sudden it just became like basically a poker game. Everybody is playing their hand, and it just takes a bit of time. And as you said, like the January thing was a disaster. I
Disaster.
mean, I mean, if not. if not the first week, by the second week of January, we should have had. If we were looking for Ben Davis only, then we should have had Ben Davis by the second week of January last season. And it's not like rocket science. Like your players are injured, your midfielder is playing into the defense, and I'm sure Klopp would have told the everybody, and I mean he wouldn't have to tell anybody. Like all the analysts give data to Edwards, and Edward knows it. So I mean, it was really poor with respect to our management and everything to like get Davis on the last day. And I mean, fine, you got Davis, but if you would have been like 3 weeks or 2 weeks before the last day, I mean, there might have been a better chance for him to play at least 1 or 2 games, which would have given other players a rest also. But yeah, I mean, it's just what it is. I mean, I'm just glad that we got Konate, and it's a really, really, really good signing from.
Yeah. So Salil again has Muzilovsky signed a contract today, buzzing to see
Yeah,
him
yeah,
alongside
yeah,
Elliot. Yeah,
yeah,
I'm not sure Salil if you have heard the Blood Red podcast. I think they described Shaqiri going out, and that means for them it was an opportunity for Elliot to come and stand. I mean,
yeah,
that was kind of funny for me to be very honest, because if a player like Shaqiri can't get game time, you can't expect Harvey Elliott to be starting this soon, at least for us. So yeah, that's that. But yes, we're super excited for Elliot and Zilovsky. I really hope that with the new training ground, with the new stadium expansion and everything
yeah,
coming to place, there are going to be a lot of young talent that's going to come out from the ranks in our
yeah,
academy itself, isn't it,
yeah.
Ishan?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Like, I think it was Klopp's one of the main aims in the past years to get the academy and the first team closer and together more so. Also because like if I'm a 16, 17-year old player and I see the likes of Salah, Mane, Van Dijk, Allison playing almost every day in front of me, I would be inspired to be like them. I mean, it just gives me that extra pump every day. And I mean, if you look at it from the coaching staff point of view, like I can go in 10 minutes and just be at from the first team. Like if I'm Peter Matos, I can go in 10 minutes and see the kids play or train. So it just makes perfectly sense. But the only thing is that do we have the bandwidth to give the kids a platform without expecting, the results which we expect from Salah, Mane, etc. you know so it's like we have to phase kids in, like Klopp has done brilliantly with Curtis, and that phasing in period is very tough for youngsters because they are not playing regularly, neither at the under 23 level or at the senior level. So that time where they're learning a lot of different stuff, mentally it's very challenging for them. So that's the real test for them, and I really.
Okay, he's hung up again. Five, four, three, two, one. No, okay, fine. I'll go. Okay, he's back.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, yeah. You
Oh,
go.
dang. So yeah, I mean, I'm really excited with Elliot and Musalowski, and I think these two are like really, really, really good players for their age group right now, and I think they'll get good amount of game time, especially Elliot. I think he'll get good amount of game time this season.
All right.
Also, sorry to interrupt you, but I think another point which I want to add to this thing is that I have a feeling you can say that with this, the Kirkby and the whole complex, the youth players being nearer to the senior pros, I think, it's going to be more of youngsters getting promoted now. We'll see a lot of youngsters getting more and more game time. And this might also be a sign that, our squad depth might be filled up with youngsters rather than, experienced seasoned pros. That's just opinion. It could happen like that or it could not. But I just have a feeling about this because the amount of youngsters which we always take on our preseason, and just the improving quality of our youngsters every year now since Klopp has come is really really good to see. Like You have Leighton Clarkson as well, who's been very regular in the training for the seniors. So it's pretty interesting how the season pans out for the academy players.
True. So I do have one more thing actually, because we just spoke about Chelsea, how they had around 30 plus people on
Yeah,
loan. Now
yeah,
we were also given an opportunity to sign Kabak again for 8.5 million. And they were, I mean, we were given the offer, but we refused the offer. We said, we don't
yeah,
want it. Obviously we signed another center back. It kind of makes
yeah,
sense. But at
yeah,
the same time, again, coming back to Chelsea, how they have worked before, how they have signed players at a very young age, how they have signed academic players and they have sent them out on loan for a couple of years, and then either they have sold them off or they have, kept them, like they kept Courtois, they kept Quadrado for maybe a season or two,
yeah,
and why can't we just try that as well? Because okay, FSC, I understand it's a business for them as well. They want
yeah.
to earn money, and this was a perfect opportunity. You don't get a defender in
Absolutely,
the likes of
absolutely.
Kabak for 8 million.
I mean, the kind of potential Kabak has and his current ability is how much his current ability is. I think this was a financial no-brainer. Like this is very similar to a Minamino or a Shaqiri kind of a deal. I mean, just get
Exactly.
that 8.5 million, pay Cholka that much amount, and just loan him out. I mean,
Yeah.
even if a club like, say, for example, Newcastle wants him. I mean, apparently for a like a permanent as well. So if you loan him to Newcastle for 2 seasons, and you know the worst comes to worst, Newcastle is ready to pay 1.5 million for 2 years. Okay, fine, as a loan fee. I mean, fine, give us that much amount, and that covers already a good amount. So we are only 6 million short now to recover his transfer fee. We are not even paying his wages anymore. So if he signs a 5 year contract, that means after 2 years, when he has 3 years left, we won't be even be able to sell him for 6 million. What are you talking about? It's a financial no-brainer. Get him, put him out on loan, and just make some money. I mean, if just in case if he does not do well enough to get back into the team, that is.
All right. So we have that particular situation, but then um I think it's a no-brainer. Like, getting someone like Shakiri for 12, 13 odd million and maybe selling him for 25, getting someone
Yeah,
like say Minamino for 7.5 million, and maybe utilizing him for a couple of seasons, sending him around loan, whatever, and then selling him in off for 10, 15 odd million. So, it's just good business at the end of the day. It's
yeah,
not something like no other club has done before. I've just given an example of Chelsea again, and
yeah.
I think repeated it, I think 3 to 4
I mean,
times.
with respect to Chelsea, like you can see, you know, they sent Ake on loan. They sent Tomori on loan.
They have a
Tomorrow
80 million goalkeeper sitting on their bench.
yeah, I mean, that is something which is like that was very poor from Chelsea back then. Not understanding the kind of goalkeeper they actually require and just going for the flashiest name which was out there at that point of time. But yeah, I mean, like if you look at say Tomori did really well at AC Milan, and now he's been permanently transferred to there. And again, even for Ake, when they sold him to Bournemouth, they had the first right of refusal with Bournemouth. So again, it's the kind of deals which Chelsea has been doing for a lot of time. And if you see, like they've been very intelligent. They sell all their academy players, and all of a sudden they have a good amount of corpus money. Like by selling all these academy players, they get like easily 30, 40 million from selling academy players every season.
Yeah, and they
So
have won the Premier League. They have won the UCL. They have
yes,
won the UCL in like what, 10
exactly.
years? They have won two UCLs now.
Absolutely. So it's just the cutthroat, competitive structure which Abramovich has created,
Yeah.
and this whole youth setup been made to like just make money was done by this guy called Michael Emenalo, who was really really good at all of this. And I mean, it's pretty surprising that we are not doing the same kind of stuff, and especially when we have pretty decent amount of talent, like like Wilson is there, even Nico Williams is there. we can make a lot of money using all of these resources which we have.
Yeah, but then again, if we make money out of Nico Williams and all, we don't have any backup, right? Chelsea had a backup. We just like,
Oh,
so we
yeah,
are in a no
absolutely.
man's land at the moment.
I think Chelsea had Azpilicueta and Reece James, right? And they sold Lamptey, which I mean,
Lamptey,
which,
yes.
yeah, I mean, phenomenal player. Like I really,
Manchester
really,
United.
really like Lamptey, and I
The
think
luxury they have is amazing, no?
yeah, the luxury is amazing. Like if you see with respect to us, I think there was a shout from somebody saying that we'll probably sell Nico Williams and keep Connor Bradley, which is a academy graduate, as our backup right back. And I mean, it comes again down to a fact that one injury to Trent and we are screwed
Yeah.
essentially, and we'll be back to seeing Milner play at right back.
I know,
So
and how no matter how much people talk about Joe Gomez coming in and as
yeah,
an RB, Joe Gomez doesn't provide the assist that Trent can. The kind of
yeah,
balls he can deliver, Joe Gomez
yeah,
or any other in Liverpool in that particular position, he cannot do it. No one in the Premier League can do it better than Trent Alexander-Arnold. So
yeah,
that's just how it is, right? All
yeah,
right. So Salil, again, dude, you're still here. People need to understand there's a homegrown player versus non-homegrown player category. If Klopp wants him, he will sign eventually. Bro,
absolutely.
as I had already replied on in the comment section, Klopp has already multiple times been very skeptic about it, that he does not have any say in the transfers. So I'm going to stick with his statement now against your point. So
So
that's how
I
it is for
think
me.
so.
I'm
I
sure
mean,
he has some kind of say, but let's just say whatever he said.
if it's about Kabak, I again, I'll say, like, just buy him, don't
Yeah,
register him, and just loan him out,
it's just
right?
business.
Yeah, it's just typical business. Like, get a player, tell him that he will be loaned out for
Yeah,
one season at least, and for just for him to grow, and it gives us the perfect time to assess how bad the injury is with respect to Van Dijk, with respect to Matip, with respect to Gomez, because we
exactly,
know these three have suffered injuries, especially Gomez and Van Dijk have suffered like bad injuries. So we'll get a season where we have three to four centre backs, and we can assess them. If we feel that okay, fine, Matip is declining for, physically, then we'll be like, okay, fine, let's sell Matip and get Kabak back. Then we have
exactly,
that luxury, and as a top
exactly,
club, uh, I would love Liverpool to have that kind of luxury, and
for sure.
especially if the investment is as low as 8.5 million, out of which I wouldn't even have to pay wages for him for the first year.
Exactly.
The first year
And
wages
and
would be paid by
moreover,
him.
we're still talking about signing a midfielder, right? I think so.
Yeah.
So, my friend, the this particular statement applies for that position as well. So,
Yeah. So I feel with respect to, like, answering Salil's question about homegrown and non-homegrown player category, I think we kind of missed it with Lewis also. Like, if you would have been, like, more easy with respect to the Lewis signing, Jamal Lewis signing, that is,
yeah,
we would have had another backup which would have been English, and that eight homegrown player quota would have been filled easily. But let bygones be bygones. I mean, yeah, of course, like right now, the English players, we don't have that many like the homegrown ones. And that is also a conundrum which Klopp faces with respect to Nat Phillips, Ben Davies, what to do with these two defenders, and even with Nico Williams, because he's also a homegrown player. So all of this is so important. And again, as I said, this might tempt Klopp and Edwards to promote a academy graduate into the first team and get them registered as a Premier League player.
yeah. I guess that's the only way, because now I think signing English players, it's going to be quite difficult at this moment,
Yeah,
because everyone who's in form, they're not going to come cheap, which obviously would want. So that's not happening.
yeah, and
Gonna take
any
Yeah,
player who was in the Euro squad is will be inflated by like 20 twenty
yeah,
five million already.
yeah, for
So
sure.
I mean, like, can Calvin, say for example, Calvin Phillips, who would have costed like say 40 million or so, would not come anywhere below 60 65 right now if somebody even wants to buy him.
Yeah, I mean, even Jordan Pickford was in form. So I mean, let's
Oh
just leave the whole thing out,
yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So Vishal has one question, and this is the only question I'm going to take out United. Sancho deal done, and now Manchester United to announce double deal for Rafael Varane and Trippier. I don't think Trippier is going there by next week. United is getting up for trophies this season. Is it? मैं नहीं बता रहा ईशान भाई.
So if Varane happens, um, they're pretty solid. I mean, has to be said. I mean, having a defensive centre back of likes of Maguire, Varane, and if you see like Varane and Maguire will complement each other really well. Like Maguire is kind of slow, but Varane is pretty quick, and he can cover all the small spaces which Maguire leaves when he, you know, takes the ball
Yeah.
ahead or like sometimes just goes ahead a bit while
Basically, he
defending as
can make
well.
him look even better.
Better, absolutely, absolutely. And again, like having backups like Bai and Lindelof is a luxury again. And I mean, apart from that, if you talk about Trippier, uh, we have seen United play like with wing backs and with fullbacks both. So I feel if Trippier comes, then for sure, I'm sorry, Solskjaer wants to implement the wing backs more and more. That's why he's getting Trippier. And the benefit with Trippier is also that he's English. He has Premier League experience. He won't be that expensive. Can play right back, right wing back, left wing back, and can also chip in with your set pieces.
Yeah.
So as a squad player, he's the perfect fit for United.
I was shocked when Tottenham let him go because I mean I just couldn't get it because he was, I think, in a great form before, just before he was sold off.
He
Apart from
was
that one season.
he was in good form, but then again, it's better to play Champions League with Atletico rather than be a squad player with Tottenham. With sometimes you get Champions League, sometimes you don't get Champions League. There's this uncertainty, and he wanted more game time. More than anything else, which
Yeah,
he has kind of gotten at Atletico. And I mean, he didn't have the best or like a really great season with Atletico last season, but it was, I'll say, above average season.
okay. Right. So talking about Tottenham Hotspur, I'm just gonna not deviate from topic. Let's just get in more detail. So now there's something called signing a guy that you want, that your team wants. You want a player in a particular position, but there's also something that you need to keep an eye on your competitor, what whom they are going for, what kind of signing they are making. Now, obviously, teams like United and Chelsea aren't exactly where we are because they still have those loopholes, they still have those gaps that they have to fill in. That's one of the reasons, to be very honest, they are making so many big money signings because they want
Yeah,
someone who literally walks into their first starting 11. That's how
yeah,
desperate they are, right?
yeah,
Even United, they signed Harry Maguire, he captains the side. They signed Juan Mata, he's captain their side. Ibrahimovic has captained their side. Pogba has captained their side. So there have been so many, like captains in Manchester United, and they have been all over the place.
yeah,
Thankfully, we are not. Thankfully, we are not.
yeah,
But that again is not an excuse to not sign anyone.
yeah,
So like just giving the crux here, we have to talk about Harry Kane.
yeah,
Harry Kane, a lot of news coming in that he's going to stay at Tottenham Hotspur. Very reliable sources have confirmed that he will stay in Tottenham Hotspur for this particular season. But you have the Manchester Eagles wandering around him because City would want someone to replace Aguero because he's already off, and in case if City do not target him, they know that United will. So just for the sake of that, United do not get Harry Kane, they may end up signing him as well. And
yeah.
if they sign Harry Kane, I mean, you can say bye bye to any kind of trophy challenge for another couple of years until unless you're signing someone like Haaland, which is
Uh,
which again Chelsea will.
to be really, really honest, the thing with Kane is so complex because there were multiple sources which were saying that Levy wants something above 125, and during present day financial situation, it's really tough for anybody to cough that kind of stuff up. I mean, if you look at Barcelona, not gonna happen. If you look at Liverpool, not gonna happen. If you look at
Why are you even
Madrid,
naming us? This is just, it's a shame to even name us in that equation.
no, I'm just like talking about the big clubs which are very very strong right now, which ambition wise, Kane would want to go, and Madrid can afford him, to be really honest, because they just have posted a profit in the financial year, and on top of that, there will be a lot of outgoings in at Madrid right now. They have a lot of deadwood over there, and I'm sure they'll be able to get a at least make up of 50% of the money which they require for Kane by virtue of selling players. So, but will he go there? Like, or probably we might not see Munich go for him, Bayern Munich go for him, but like with Lewandowski aging, maybe not. But I mean, the only destination which is custom fit for Harry Kane is Manchester City. No problem with respect to fee, no problem with respect to wages, no problem with respect to anything.
Class.
And that's how it is. And I mean,
Yeah, that's a harsh
I would,
reality for us.
yeah, I mean, I would really miss Guardiola's tinkering with the false nine, which led to a lot of Man City defeats. If Kane goes there, we might not see those defeats come again.
No, no,
But
it's going to be very difficult, man. I mean, you'll need
yeah,
something like maybe a mid five or mid four to at least stop the counter, stop them passing the ball through so quickly
yeah,
because
it's gonna be really.
they
I mean,
have amazing wingers. Yeah.
if Kane comes, and we have seen in the past two seasons, not two, like one and a half, with like when Mourinho took over Tottenham, we started seeing Kane getting involved in a lot of build-up as well. And once that started, what happened eventually was it led to Son getting a lot of goals, and Kane assisting Son for a lot of goals as well. And by virtue of that one season at Spurs, Kane kind of developed his game with respect to as a creative forward. And even in the Euros, we saw how good he was and how it allowed the other wide forwards to actually exploit the space. So that is something which that's like Guardiola's wet dream, like, a striker making so many chances, creating so many chances. So, yeah, I mean, again, it hurts me to say it, but yeah, City is the perfect destination for Kane.
Right. Unfortunately, for him, yes, because again he's an English player, and they would prefer staying in England rather than going to Spain, and definitely not Germany. To be very honest, I don't think any English player is gonna go to Germany.
Yeah,
Not Spain as well. I think La Liga is not gonna get him any more footage. I think they'll barely be able to hang on to Messi at the moment. So you
yeah.
never know.
I mean, you never know. I
And,
mean,
yeah.
if La Liga says that if Harry Kane will be the next poster boy of La Liga along with Messi all the way, so
Hmm.
I mean that might tempt him to go to Madrid also because Benzema is also aging now, and it might be the best time to buy a top class center forward for Madrid. Who can get like within a season, and you have you're rotating with Benzema, and that gives Benzema time to rest as well. So that those things are really really important, like how to elongate players career even by a season. And Benzema again is a generational talent, so
Who
yeah.
was the last English player to play for a Spain inside? I mean, I'm talking about just Barcelona and Madrid.
mm,
Was it like all over to Beckham?
mm, Maybe Beckham, Owen, then
Owen, Michael Owen, yeah.
McManaman was there before him.
So it's been a long time, yeah.
It's been a long time, yeah. It's
I
been a
mean,
long time.
after signing Cristiano Ronaldo, I don't think Barcelona and Real Madrid have signed any. I mean, obviously, Cristiano Ronaldo is Portugal, but
Yeah,
I'm just talking about that particular era because it's been like 10, 12 years now. They haven't signed anyone,
yeah, yeah.
right?
No English players has been there as such.
Okay, yeah. So I think there's a hint if anyone feels that he's gonna go there. So The chances are very less. They maybe 1 or 2%, maybe 10%, I don't know. राइट, सो विशाल, आपको लगता है कि हम कभी 100 मिलियन के किसी प्लेयर के लिए जाएंगे? भाई देखो, हमने एलिसन को भी साइन करा है, हमने वैन डाइक को भी 75 पे साइन करा है, ऐसी बात नहीं है कि नहीं होगा। बट हाँ, अगर हम साला पर डिपेंडेंट हैं कि भाई वो 150 मिलियन दे के जाएगा हमें और हम खरीद लेंगे, तो भाई उससे बड़ी बेवकूफ़ी कुछ भी नहीं है। तो एम्बाप्पे को तो हाइप कर रखा था भाई, अब मैं क्या ही बताऊं। अब वो कुछ सुधरते हैं नहीं, कुछ लिवरपूल फैन, उनको एम्बाप्पे 2020 चाहिए, 2021 चाहिए। ओ भैया, यहाँ पे मार्को भी चाहने के लाले पड़ रहे हैं, यहाँ पे तुम्हें एम्बाप्पे चाहिए। तो मैं क्या ही बोलूँ ऐसे लोगों को, तो कोई फायदा नहीं है भाई उस चीज़ का। So
Mbappe,
do you think Ishan will sign any 100 or even 90 million? Let's reduce it 10 million.
yeah, to be really honest, even if it is in installments, it's really tough because the kind of financial strain which the whole world is in right now, it seems really, really tough for Liverpool to sign anybody like that. And to be really, really honest, Allison and Van Dijk are the two outliers of the whole FSG system. It's like, they realize that we need these two players who are absolute greats, who, like, the analysts were like saying 100% they'll fit, they'll be, they'll give us the kind of uh, strength which we have been craving for a long time. So yeah, I don't see us go for even anybody above 50 million, to be really
Yep. But then again, we can always make some good and quality signings as well. But the problem
honest.
is, again, the wages. Like, if you're living in London, then you have a different kind of wage set that you get. If you're in Manchester, again, there's a different. But if you're at a Merseyside, you cannot expect the same kind of wage bill that you have in both areas. So it's also a geographical issue there, to be very honest. So that's one of the reasons. Also, a
So
lot of players prefer moving from Tottenham to Arsenal, Arsenal to maybe Chelsea, something like
yeah.
that. That's just how it is.
So yeah, I mean, Sanchez was one example. I remember the why he moved there. So apart from that, if you see, I mean, we have to grow financially, and for that we need commercial deals or we need more gate receipts. And I think by the mid of this season, probably we'll have our stadium expanded to 60,000 plus capacity, which would be great for us in the long term of things. 60,000 plus stadium is a great thing to have. I
We
mean,
still not get those tickets, man.
of course, I mean that will be just for like the commercial stuff. But then again, once that revenue also starts coming in, it's it won't be like that much. But then it's just more and more stuff for to show it to the sponsors. It's not
Yeah,
50,000, it's 60,000. So it's like a slab of sorts which
yeah,
a salesperson can show to the sponsor and say
makes
they get
sense.
60,000 plus.
Yeah,
So yeah, I mean it'll be a great thing overall, but I just hope we get more and more commercial deals done, which is really really tough right now. But I just hope somehow we get some deals done.
yeah. I think brands will kind of, they will, keep their distance at the moment, given the kind of situation, the unpredictable situations that
Yeah.
we are living in. It's been more than a year now. It's been very frustrating for everyone. It's been, you see a few clubs still, making those huge money signings, and it's kind of frustrating for everyone. I understand, but guys, I think it's more important to have the right guy rather than having 100 million guy, because we
Yeah.
have seen players flop like anything in different clubs. Eden Hazard, Falcao, you
Torres,
have,
Torres. Look at Torres. Torres
yeah,
back then was
Torres.
a big money flop.
Torres flopped, and the way even Suarez got treated in Barcelona recently, how Messi was treated in Barcelona, even Ronaldo at Juventus, Dybala at Juventus, all that talent, that 1-2 season talent is just off the mark, off the map, just like that. So you never know what's gonna happen. So just be grateful that we still have a good team in our hands. Yes, we need a couple of tweaks here and there, maybe a right back, maybe a creative mid if we can get Coutinho, or if we need a center forward, an out and out center forward who can score a good amount of goals for us and keep and take the pressure off our wingers, and so they can also take rest. So you never know, right? And So Ishan, before we close the conversation, I just like
Yeah,
to just point out a few things just to feel positive, right?
yeah,
So let's talk about transfers all over, right? Let's talk about transfers from every single club in England, right? Okay.
yeah,
So we have Arsenal, right?
hmm,
They just have Nuno Tavares,
yeah.
just
The left
one
back.
signing, and they
Yeah.
have around a dozen of people who have gone out. I'm not going to talk about, okay, fine. Let's talk about Aston Villa. They have Ashley Young coming in from Inter for free. They
To be to
have,
be to be
sorry,
honest, I mean, to be honest, like with respect to Arsenal, the most surprising thing is they have loaned out William Saliba again. I have no idea why they have done that again. I mean, he has great potential. They definitely have a problem at centre back. Luis has his contract expired, so I don't know what's the deal with Saliba, Arteta, or the board or whatever. I mean, it's just crazy. It's just crazy that he's not been even given a chance, like even say 6 months to even just sit and prove himself over there. He's just been thrown out again for a
yeah,
loan. It's really surprising.
yeah, that's a shock. I think there are a lot of things that are going on crazy in Arsenal, to be honest, because Odegaard at the end of loan, Ceballos. I don't know. I think Arsenal, like even their preseason game, I think like it was quite
Oh, yeah,
laughable, and
it was poor. It was
so
very
yeah, I
poor.
think we can have a separate video for them. To be very honest, the kind of
Yeah,
so Arsenal is a perfect example of when fans think that they know better than their club, they know better than their manager. That's a perfect
yeah.
example there.
That's the whole thing. Arsenal is as a club right now is what AFTV is.
Yeah,
Okay, what
exactly.
AFTV, the essence of AFTV has is now the resultant of where Arsenal is right now.
If you
And
have to blame someone, you blame people like that who kind of put the whole club in a negative view. Not that you
yeah,
have a
absolutely.
no, not that they have a good say owners. They don't have the Kroenke is not a good owner, to be very honest.
Yeah,
Let's be very blunt here. But then again, so much negativity around the player, around the manager. You're literally questioning the manager who has put you in top four every single season,
yeah,
apart
yeah.
from one. That's it. That's just the one season, and now you can
That's
barely
what I'm
make it
saying.
to top eight.
Like, the whole Wenger out thing was absolutely
Circus.
shambolic. I
Yeah.
mean, I mean, when he took over Arsenal, Arsenal wasn't like winning everything left, right, and center.
No.
He did a whole rebuild of Arsenal, right from the youth academy and the nutrition to everything. He changed the landscape of Premier League.
Yeah.
How football was looked at
Yeah.
at right from the academy to the senior level. So disrespecting the guy like that was shameful. Like, I mean, you can't call yourself a fan and disrespect the
Yeah.
greatest coach in your history. I mean,
True.
I don't. I even if like we don't do well with Klopp in the next season or the next whenever, like I wouldn't like disrespect him or say it's time to go or like whatever bullshit those AFTV
Yeah,
people.
apart from the few a handful of idiots on Twitter, like the keyboard fans, basically, they are
Yeah,
every other club, but you won't
yeah,
find a kind of fan base like AFTV in Liverpool, right? So that's not going to happen. We may
yeah,
be some of our fans may be FSG out, but there's not a single fan who's Klopp out. And I
yeah,
think the
of course.
perfect example there is about Rafa, how he's joined Everton, and
Yeah, absolutely.
and we are pretty much okay with it because he loves the club, right?
Yeah,
He loves the city, not the club. He loves the city, right? So he wants to be closer to it.
yeah, and his kids are here, so he wants to be closer. He has a house here. I mean, and of course we understand that it's been a while since he's been away from the city. He wants to come back and he wants to manage a good team. And as much as Everton isn't at the best place position wise, but as a club and the fan base and the support they have, they're pretty good.
They have good
So
owners.
yeah, I mean, of course, like he's been investing in them like
Yeah,
left, right, and
past
center.
4 years. Yeah, past 4 years.
It's just that their investment has been dog shit. That's it. It's just that, to be really honest.
So their investment has been Everton, basically.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much.
They had investment as in Everton. That's a good one though. Right. So moving on from Arsenal, okay, let me skip all of them. Chelsea have they haven't made any signing, by the way, right?
Hmm.
So that's a good sign, guys. Victor Moses,
Yeah.
however, has gone to Moscow, so that's one of the major releases that they have made. Everton has not signed anyone. Leeds have signed just one guy. Leicester has signed Dhaka, Ryan Bertrand from Southampton. They have signed for free. I didn't know about this. Why the hell I'm reading it right now?
Yeah.
Ryan Bertrand, we could have signed Ryan Bertrand. It's from Southampton. Our club, like it's Liverpool B team. We could have just signed him. God damn it. Ugh.
And also that he was English,
Yeah,
so
exactly.
that would have helped us as well. But yeah, and
I'm just seeing it
and,
right now.
and I think Leicester have also completed the signing of Boubacar Samare, which is another
Yeah,
great centre midfielder option for them.
yeah.
So
17 million.
even if like you know Tielemans goes away, I mean they have another good player with them.
Yeah, I mean, again, good owner. Their captain, their title-winning captain, Wes Morgan, has also retired.
Yeah,
Christian Fuchs will not be with Leicester again, but they have made
yeah.
those. See, they have made those key signings in the right place at the right time, right? So
And
now
and
come,
and the good thing, and the thing with Leicester is they have a similar model to Liverpool. Like they extensively scout, analyze, and then buy players. And the thing with Leicester, which is an advantage to with respect to Liverpool, is that Leicester does not have the expectation, neither from the fans or the media, to win anything when they start the season.
yeah, and that
So
helps
as
them to play their own game. Yeah,
absolutely, so there is no pressure on the players. Like it's just the pressure which probably the manager puts on them, or like they put on themselves to perform and give out a certain level of result. But apart from that, you won't have the pressure you have at Liverpool, United, or City, or not City to fancy nahi hai, but like any other big club for the matter of fact, which is actually pretty great. Like we have seen even Iheanacho has become so good uh, last season, and it was pretty good with Iheanacho. Like they stayed with him and didn't sell him off or anything. And again, Soyuncu, you can see like so all those uh, signings which could be called a gamble, Leicester City have gone and gambled, and because they have lesser pressure on them to perform, so they just you know bloom really well over there. Like we could have gone and got Dhaka whenever we wanted, but again, the pressure at Liverpool and the competitiveness and whether he'll get game time or not, so all of these things coming together would be like a bigger gamble for Liverpool as compared to Leicester, because Leicester don't have the pressure to buy sorry, to like win anything.
true, true. That's for sure, man. And again, like when we talk about other signings that these guys could have made, I think there are a couple of more signings that may come in Leicester because they have a good promising manager in Brendan Rodgers. So we have again in Liverpool, we just have one coming in. Our main guy, Gini Wijnaldum, our backbone of our
Yeah.
midfield is gone, and we are still hoping to sign a replacement, maybe, but we still haven't. You know, I think we are not connected to any promising signing at the moment. I think Saul and everyone else is just there's talks at the moment, right?
No idea, man. Like I mean, it's
Yeah,
like starting of the window, it was my house. Then in the middle, it was Baumgartner, and now it's Saul. I mean, it's classic Edwards and FSG. Like nobody knows what is going on.
yeah.
Only the clubs involved know what is going on. So it's really tough to say whom we are actually targeting. But if you ask me if we are going for somebody like Saul, nothing like it, because experienced, really good technically, has a winning mentality, has won everything bar the uh, Champions League. He's won everything which is there. And the another thing with him which I really like is that under Simeone, He has played from right mid, left mid, center mid to a left winger, right winger. He's played almost all the positions which are there in the midfield. So that kind of gives us a lot of maneuverability to Klopp. So if, say, for example, you have to rest Fabinho, you get Saul in as a six and let Thiago be the more advanced midfielder rather than playing Thiago as a six, because Thiago is, he's more impactful as an advanced playmaker.
Yep, that's right.
Also, just adding another point,
Yeah.
I don't think we'll ever sign Tielemans for anybody who likes Tielemans.
No, yeah.
Because
I'm not
one,
sure why he's even linked, to be very honest. I think it's just, they didn't find anyone from Southampton this
yeah,
time around.
yeah,
So they found someone from Leicester.
yeah. I think it's just that similar to the Koulibaly thing, like किसी को तो
Yeah.
लाना ही है, नाम लिखना ही है किसी का, तो इसका लिख दो, right?
हाँ, आई मीन
So
इस बार गॉडसे मिला नहीं तो फिर टिलेमेंस को उठा लिया। गॉडसे नहीं
yeah.
मिला ना इस बार इनको। गॉडसे finally is not no longer linked. So City do not have any incomings. They have Sergio Aguero. Thankfully, man, that guy scores like crazy against us. United have Heaton coming in. Romero finally has his contract expired. Poor guy did not get to play the final, and De Gea spoiled it for them. Okay, the dog's back. Newcastle, we have no incomings. Southampton, Walcott from Everton. I think an Everton fan, I still remember, who compared him to Mane and found Walcott to be better. Okay. Tottenham, no incomings. Watford, again, they have just got promoted, so they have gone nuts already. West Ham United, don't see them as a competition, but you never know. I think they have been under good management recently. Ever since Village left, I think they have been quite stable. Wolves were gonna be quite tricky team. I am, very disappointed with this. Sorry, with this transfer of Rui Patricio. I think
Yeah.
he was a talisman for them. I really hope that they won't miss him too much. I have no idea about all of these guys, to be really honest with you. I was really hoping to see them, in a place where Leicester are today. I think these guys have it in them, right? The Wolves team, they've been amazing. They are very, very good to watch. They
I,
come
I,
back, they
I,
fight like real team.
I think the Jimenez injury really, really hit them hard last
Yeah.
season. I mean, that was really, really bad because they did not have a good backup, and it was also, I feel like, mentally speaking, it's really tough for the teams to perform when you know that your teammate has undergone such a uh, bad injury. So, I mean, and we saw that again in the Denmark game when Eriksen went
Yeah.
off. So it's really tough for the teammates to actually just rally around and get a decent string of results going for them.
Yeah, that's true, and that's one of the reasons that you need those backups.
Although I feel another club which has been doing pretty good business is Crystal Palace, and
Zaha.
I feel, yeah, Zaha though is there only, but they have signed this really good centre back from Chelsea academy called Guehi, and apart from that, they have signed the highest assister from the championship, Michael Olise. So I mean, they're trying to build a team which is more young, more talented, and yeah, I mean, I think with Patrick Vieira, the one thing which they can at least get is like, uh, he'll get more technicality in, which Palace haven't had since, like, I can remember just Pulis and Hodgson as their managers, and I mean, it is what it is with them. We have just associated Palace with hoofball, and it's like long ball and inshallah for them. But this will change under Vieira. But how successful he'll be, I don't know, because he's not had a good track record in the as a manager. But it'll be really interesting with the kind of talent they are targeting.
Right. So Palace do have a lot of outgoings. Like Klein is
uh, because their
gone,
contract
Gary
got over.
Cahill, yeah, Wayne Hennessy, McCarthy, Sako. Sako is finally out of Palace. Patrick Van Aanholt. I really found that guy to be very interesting. I don't know what happened there. Um, Sako's name is twice written here. I think there must have been an error, or maybe a duplicate. Wickham is also gone now, so I guess that's about it for them. So yeah, I think it's a good sign that we are the only ones who have signed a high profile player apart from Manchester United
Yeah,
till now in the transfer window. So guys, not everything is doom and gloom. Maybe we'll
yeah,
sign the center forward. Maybe we'll sign someone in the midfield again. Let's hope. Let's
yeah,
hope for the best. If there are any questions, guys, I think we're gonna sign off now. It's been a really long
yeah.
time. We try our best to keep it under 1 hour, but we always shoot more than an hour with our discussions with Ishan. Ishan, do you like to sum it up in any other way apart from an FSG out or FSG in kind of conclusion?
To be really honest to everybody, like, irrespective of whether you're FSD out, FSD in, we just have to deal with them now. Okay, so might as well just enjoy the ride. That's all I'll say, and just be a bit patient. I mean, signings will happen, I'm sure, because uh, I mean, Klopp knows that signings are required, and after the last season debacle, and he knows that he can't utilize Milner again now. Milner is old. This will probably be his last season, and yeah, I mean, I just hope we get good players and like good academy players come up.
Right. So yeah, I think there we have it. Thank you so much, Kanu Bhai, for being here. Thank you so much for um, you know, staying there, man. What the hell are you doing? Do you have something better to do? You have been here for an hour, just left for 10 minutes. And Dipali, again, thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much for being a support that we needed from the very
You,
beginning. Yeah, she's been very kind. Yeah, she's always there and she's always supportive. So thank you, both of you who are left. And the rest
you,
have already slept, I guess. So we won't take much of your time, and hope you enjoyed this this podcast. It was all about transfers. It was all about who's the competition and whom should we sign, whom should we not sign, should we sign or should we not sign at all.
uh,
There's some things here and there about FSG as well. So it's all happening. It's still there's a lot of time. The preseason hasn't started yet. Klopp is yet to assess the players in real games at the moment. Hopefully, Simicas gets some kind of game time at least in the preseason, and Milner doesn't shout at him like the last one.
for
So
fuck's sake, Bostas.
for fuck's sake, Simicas. A good one. Yeah. This is what we love about the club, right? The kind of bond
Yeah,
that we have with the players have within themselves. So
yeah,
we don't want any 100 million signing to change it, but we just want the right signings, man.
yeah.
Right? Start a phone-in show, bro. We have a clubhouse. We have a clubhouse channel. I'll just put that link on my YouTube and Instagram as well. So that's just how it is. And bro, you can just DM me whenever you are available, and would love to. I'll send you a link and just feel free to come on our live. Just join us, man. That's perfectly fine. Yeah, that's already there. I've been writing in caption apart from promoting myself. I've just been just putting this up to participate in our live sessions. Please DM us on Cop Fusions on Instagram, and we'll surely have you over. We'd love to hear from you. So please feel free to join. It's okay. Don't be camera shy. I mean, we are no anchors ourselves. We just try our best to give all kind of shitty gyan that we have within ourselves. It may not be 100% correct, but it comes straight from the heart, right? So the
Absolutely.
efforts and the like we are being very honest here, 100% of what we are, what we think. We're not trying to fake it or anything, and I think that's one of the reasons that you guys support us as well. I'm not going to lecture it anymore. So with that said, signing off. I know the lecture was quite longer. So signing off. Hopefully I'll see you guys on Sunday, maybe with Ishan if he's free, or maybe with Salil, or maybe with Kanu or Dipali finally. Right, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for streaming in, and I'll see you again next time.